Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Call Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekaha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well and taught me this truth. Peace, blessing, and salutation to the Akim that are pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in all truth and sincerity. Lord willing, this reaches the ears of the hopeful elect. All right, it's your brother Kazak Tazabah coming at you with another lesson, Lord willing, it's edifying. Okay, so if you don't already know, the politicians, okay, those who are in Congress, okay, House of Representatives, okay, they are currently in the process as we speak. All right, right now it is 3:07, April 26th. All right, and they're still doing it. Okay, they're voting to see whether or not they are going to increase the debt ceiling. All right, now originally the debt ceiling was to go be default, all right, by June, I want to say, or in the middle of May, early June, somewhere around that time, give or take. Okay, and what they're pretty much talking about right now is debating, on both sides, both the Democrat and the Republican. All right, they're debating, going back and forth, debating on whether or not to increase the debt ceiling or not. Okay, and as I gathered, I sat there and I watched probably about an hour's worth of bickering, going back and forth, all right, between these two parties. They was just going toe to toe on, and going against everything that the other was standing up for or speaking on. Okay, and pretty much what if they were to increase the debt ceiling, all right, they are allowing student loans and certain student loan debts and SNAP benefits and government assistance and all that stuff to still be in full effect. All right, government spending, retirement, so on and so forth. All right, now if they but if they were to do that, if they increase the debt ceiling, they're proving that they don't have enough Federal Reserve notes flowing through the economy, okay, flowing through the system, okay, because if you think about it, people are withdrawing their money. All right, they're even talking about banks withdrawing over $1 billion. All right, and from their prospective banks. People aren't too keen on spending their money, okay, because we're heading towards a recession, inflation and all that. People are holding on to their little shekels, man. Okay, and there's not enough money flowing through Babylon, aka America. All right, so what they're going to do is increase the debt ceiling, or what they're trying to do is increase the debt ceiling. But when you increase the debt ceiling, you got to print off more money. All right, and just as in the time of ancient Rome, okay, when they used to, because it used to be with silver and things like that. Okay, but what they would do is when they would try to make more money, they would dilute it with other metals, okay, other metals which ultimately loses value, all right, in silver and things of that nature. Okay, when you had to create more, so this here being Rome 2.0, America, aka Babylon the Great, all right, they're trying to print off more money, okay, which if you have more of something, the less value it has. Okay. But for them to try to pay off, $32 trillion of debt, what are they going to have to do? Increase interest rates. Okay. So then we're going to go into hyperinflation. All right. And if that's on the Democratic side, on the Republican side, they're pretty much saying that, going against pretty much allowing the nation to go into default. Okay. Because going default, will allow, I honestly, it was, let me just look it up. Let me just look it up real quick. Let's see. Pros and cons of debt ceiling. All right. Let's I'm a visual learner. So let's see if there's anything. All right, here we go. Let's see. What is the debt ceiling? Debt ceiling is the maximum amount of money the United States can borrow cumulatively by issuing bonds, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's get to the point. Let's see what are the pros and cons. All right, pros. It says, let's read above. It says, advantages and disadvantages of the debt ceiling. Implementing a debt ceiling is practical, allowing the U.S. Treasury to easily issue bonds, to having Congress approve it each and every time the federal government needs to raise money. A pretty cumbersome process. With the debt ceiling, the boundaries are in place for a more efficient monetary approval process. However, the debt ceiling has been notoriously fluid and raised a few times, raising questions on whether it's effective as a tool to ensure fiscal responsibility. The U.S. has reached record high levels on debt over time. The pros: holds the nation's finances in check, can be used to fund federal operations, improves efficiency in government's ability to fund obligations, including Social Security, Medicare benefits. All right, so pretty much is what they're saying is that it allows everybody to, to allow the system to continue in which it already has, to where people are get their medical benefits, their insurance, retirements and things of that nature. All right, it says federal operations, so anything government related. Okay, let's go to cons. It says can be easily raised, encouraging fiscal irresponsibility, lowers the U.S. credit rating, and increases its cost of debt. Controversy over whether the debt ceiling is constitutional. It says debt ceiling showdowns and shutdowns. There have been a number of showdowns over the debt ceiling, some of which have led to government shutdowns. The conflict is usually between White House and Congress, and the debt ceiling is used as leverage to push budget agendas. All right. So it talks about here government spending cuts. Okay. I'm not gonna read too much into it. All right. But pretty much, all right, they're neat, bottom line is, the takeaway is that and the point of this lesson really is that you see Egyptian against Egyptian. Okay, you got these Edomites in here going at it. All right, every once in a while you see a Israelite woman, Eve, putting her 2 cents in, representing, for her daddy, just hoping in a nation that can't save them, man. All right. This is what they were talking about. They were talking about the HR 2811 Limit Save Grow Act of 2023. All right. Let's go to the summary. It says the bill increased a federal debt limit and decreased spending. It also repeals several energy tax credits, modifies the permitting process and other requirements for energy project, expands or requirements for, SNAP and other programs, and nullifies regulations for cancellation of federal student loans. Okay, because if they were to increase the debt ceiling, and what, as you can see here, they're trying to increase it by 1.5 trillion. Okay, 1.5 trillion dollars. Damn. All right, you get the idea. All right, which will allow federal loans, student loans to be paid off, so on and so forth. All right. SNAP benefits, temporary assistance for needy families, pretty much everything to rely on the government to take care of you. All right. But this is what's going on. This is what's in the news. This is the hot topic right now. All right. But honestly, it can go either way, because either way we see if the nation defaults, hey, that's a good thing. That it could possibly mean a shutdown, all right, which could implement or that could result in chaos, all right, people being bound to their homes, stuck, but then they're gonna eventually, try to get out and do stuff, and how we seen it when the shutdown was going on, people were still out there doing their thing, during the first go round. All right, but what if the debt ceiling is raised and then inflation hits? Okay, people still working the same amount of work, getting the same amount of money, but not being able to afford anything. Okay, it can go either way. Needless to say, a prophecy is still going to be fulfilled, man. You see, I was just curious to see what was going on. Anyways, let's get Isaiah 19:1. The burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. All right, it's talking about the chariot, all right, the chariot of the Lord. It says, verse 2, and I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And that's exactly what's going on right now, man. Okay, neighbor against neighbor, city against city, because you got these senates, okay, from these different states, all right, these red states, these blue states coming up against one another, all right, but the commonality, they should be on common grounds as far as, serving under one nation, all right, but there's division, you see. It says, and kingdom and kingdom, it says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. Okay, because here you have it in front in the open, these politicians, all right, debating and going over, legislation, all right, and bills and such, okay, bickering, going back and forth. But then at the end of the day, you got these so-called elites on the left-hand side, that are, mustering up their those enchanters, those familiar spirits, those wizards, all right, wizards and warlocks to do, left-handed, satanic wickedness, man, and evil, you see. So regardless of what we see for face value that's put in front of everybody, behind the scenes, there's, evil and wicked acts that are being performed. Okay, all to fulfill their own agenda. All right. It says, and the Egyptian will I go over into the land of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord, Yahweh of hosts. All right. Jumping down. Let's go down to verse 9. Moreover, they that work in fine flax, and they that weave networks shall be confounded. Fine flax and wheat, it's talking about, garments and clothing and things of that nature. Weave, plaits, braiding hair, whatever. It says, and they shall be broken up in purposes thereof, all that make sluices and ponds for fish. All right, which is sluices goes into wages. All right, goes into wages or something like that. Let's see. Yeah, hire or wages. Okay. Verse 11, surely the prince of Zoan are fools, the counsel of the wise counselors of Pharaoh It's become brutish. All right. It says, how say ye unto Pharaoh, I am son of the wise, the son of ancient kings? Or are they? Where are thy wise men? And let them tell thee now, and let them know what Yahweh of hosts hath proposed upon Egypt. The princes of Zoan are become fools. The princes of Noph are deceived. They are also seduced. They have also seduced Egypt, even they that are the stay of the tribes thereof. All right. And so these names, Zoan, what's the other one? Zoan, Noph. You see, those are just different cities, if you will, that are in Egypt. Okay. It says, verse 14, the Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. All right. You see the perverse spirit that are upon these devils, man, coming down with great wrath, and ultimately they're trying to, come down upon the Israelites, man. All right. Their ultimate goal is to do as such. It says, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof. As a drunken man staggereth in his vomit, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. Okay. So there's going to come a time when there won't be any work. Okay. People are going to, pretty much hang up the towels on working because it's going to be pointless. It's going to be useless. All right. Why would you be going to work when there's all hell that's breaking loose in these streets? What sense does that make? What sense does it make to continue to go to work when your little bit of money can't even afford you a loaf of bread, let alone gas to be able to get to work? You see, it's pointless. Okay, but the Lord is shaking this place up, man. He's shaking this place up, and he's bringing division. All right. This is Luke chapter 12. Luke chapter 12 and verse 49. I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled? You see? And the Lord is bringing fire, man. He's going to come down and he's going to bring fire upon this place, man. All right. It says, but I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how am I straitened till it be accomplished? Suppose ye that I come to give peace on earth? I tell you, nay, but rather divisions. You see, and this nation is completely divided. All right, you have the east, the west. All right, you have Republican, Democrat. You got these different states that are all against one another on their laws. All right. And their unrighteous decrees and such. All right. He didn't come to bring peace upon the earth. There won't be a time of peace until he's established and established his kingdom on earth. All right. It says from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, and 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter against the mother, and the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. All right. So, hey, the Lord is going to come and he's going to bring forth division. All right. And really those that'll be, your main enemy is going to be one of those in your own house, man. OK, because here there will be some who adhere to this truth. OK, and who try to live according to it to the best of, their abilities. But then you're going to have someone who also lives in that house who doesn't have the same spirit as you, man. All right. So you can very greatly anticipate, a division within your own household. All right. Let me get this and I'm going to end it on this. The book of Mark. The book of Mark chapter 3 and verse 23. And he called unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand, which goes to show that this place cannot stand any more longer, man. All right. There's a great division amongst, these Edomites. All right. Great division amongst the whole entire nation. OK, not even just with the Edomites, but a division with righteousness, you know, against wickedness. Okay, you know. But it says if a kingdom cannot, if a kingdom be divided against itself, a kingdom cannot stand. This place is crumbling. All right, this place is becoming of naught. It's going to become of nothing. All right, you know, very soon. It says, and if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end. Okay, so this kingdom, as we know it, is coming towards an end. All right, the economy is crashing. You know, it's collapsing right before our eyes, man. Okay, so through the Spirit, you know, hey, just be watchful. Okay, pay attention to what's going on with this debt limit. You know, pay attention to what's going on here, man. Okay, because this can very well expedite the whole process of, you know, leading up to Jacob's trouble. Okay, so hey, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. And with that, I want to give our honor, praise, and infinite glory unto our power Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah HaKodash. And until next time, Shalom.